Senate Bill 731, Department of State Police Firearms Prohibition on Provision of Information. This bill will prohibit the Maryland State Police from sharing certain information with any other agency, entity, or individual relating to the information that's submitted by an individual to the Secretary for the purchase of a handgun, for handgun carry permit. I think everybody in this room is probably really familiar with what transpired on September 7th of last year. The Maryland State Police had called into service state employees from 5 different state agencies to perform data entry of information appearing in the backlog of firearm purchases and applications, now known as the hands-on-deck effort. Each agency was to provide between 25 to 40 employees working each day to input information for firearm purchase applications into electronic format. I mean, this was a very good, valid attempt by the state police to diminish the backlog. However, they did a number of things wrong. Through assurances by the Maryland State Police in their press release issued on September 7th, you've got a copy of that in your bill folders, each agency had 25 to 40 members working each day. Now, I found out, as did other members of this committee, that these different agencies who had people down there entering information, it wasn't protected. You could enter, they would enter, everybody had a common password, and you're going to hear some people behind me go into a great deal about this. They had a common password that they could get into the database with all of this information. Totally unprotected. Anybody could get into this database of information with all of their personal information. I found that really hard to believe, that our state would allow that information to be openly gotten in this manner. They had employees entering data that should never have touched this information. Only the Maryland State Police were authorized to do it. Somebody sent me an email, gave me information about how to get into it. I got online. I did not see it. I had the ability to see people's personal information. This was wrong. And needless to say, we all were upset about this. I could see, if I had looked, their name, address, social security number, place, date of birth, height, weight, race, eye and hair color, their signature, their driver's license or any kind of photographic identification, the Soundex number, their occupation, their home and work telephone numbers, and all pertinent information regardless of the firearms being purchased. We were assured by the state police through a letter that they sent out on September the 16th to an inquiry in response to an inquiry from Delegate Kevin Kelly. He sent an inquiry to the Attorney General's office. And they changed their process of how they were doing this. They changed it to an encrypted way to do it. But how many people could have gotten into our personal data in that time frame? And I want to pass on something else that you all may have already heard about, or you heard about last year too. In New York State, the state shared information with a newspaper about the people who had permit to carry licenses in an area. They put every single person at risk when they did this. They knew who had permits to carry and who didn't. They put not only the people who had permits to carry at risk, they put their neighbors at risk too, because it was obvious right then, well, gosh, this person doesn't have guns. You know, I'm not going to go to his house because it's obvious they have guns. But I could go there because they don't have guns in their house. So what this legislation would do is prohibit this sharing of information. And I think that's extremely important. Good intentions by the state police to try and get rid of the terrible backlog. But these good intentions risked the personal, private information of thousands upon thousands of people to identity theft. So I would like to encourage this committee to please vote in favor of this bill. There's going to be a couple people behind me who can show you exactly to what extent this information was put out there for the world to see. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.